He was supposed to change football forever, a world record signing, the face of a new era. But instead, Neymar became one of the biggest transfer flops of all time. Twice. Okay, we understand that may sound silly. It probably even sounds outrageous. Likely one of the worst takes you have ever heard. But when you break it down, when you really look at the expectations that came with his €222 million move to PSG, did Neymar actually deliver what he was signed to do? And when Hilal splashed another €90 million to bring him to Saudi Arabia, was he even close to being worth it? Honestly, we're not so sure. There's no doubt that at Barcelona, Neymar was a genuine superstar. He wasn't just along for the ride. He was a crucial part of that iconic MSN trio alongside Messi and Suarez, and he helped Barca conquer Europe. But after leaving the Camp Nou, chasing his own legacy, his career became a story of missed opportunities, injuries, frustrations, and a long, slow fall from the heights he once commanded. Today, we're breaking down exactly how Neymar's career took such a shocking turn. From Barcelona to two of the most underwhelming big money moves in football history. Let's take this back to 2013, when FC Barcelona successfully signed the young winger, offering more than €86.2 million, with Neymar's parents receiving a sum of $40 million of that. This transfer resulted in Barcelona and club president Bartomeu being charged with tax fraud 1 year after the operation. However, we won't get too into that. This is about Neymar and football. You surely remember the devastating attacking trio MSN, Messi, Suarez and Neymar. The South American trio brought chaos upon every defence they faced. These three were nearly impossible to contain. Scoring 105 goals and registering 76 assists, Neymar went on to win 2 La Liga titles, 3 Copa del Reys, 1 Spanish Super Cup, a Champions League and a FIFA Club World Cup. That Barcelona side was basically unplayable under Luis Enrique. Neymar's success wasn't limited to his club career. He did manage to give back to his country, which we will get into later. But Neymar was expected to have a long and successful career with the Blaugrana, similar to what Messi has done. However, just 4 years after he joined the club, Neymar's management, led by his dad, successfully brokered a €222 million transfer to PSG, making him the most expensive transfer ever to this day and one of the world's highest paid players. And one of the major reasons cited for the move, Neymar's desire to step out of Messi's shadow. No matter how brilliant he was at Barcelona, he would always be seen as second to the Argentine genius. If Neymar wanted to win the Ballon d'Or and be recognised as the very best, he believed he needed his own stage, and in Paris he thought he found it. And for PSG, they were signing him to win the trophy they never won, the Champions League. In France, to say that Ligue 1 was a playground to the Brazilian is an understatement. With 118 goals and 79 assists in 173 appearances, he led PSG to 5 league titles, 3 Coupe de France, 2 Coupe de Liga and 3 Trophée des Champions. But there was one glaring failure, the UEFA Champions League, the true reason PSG broke the bank for Neymar. In 2020, Neymar helped drag PSG all the way to their first ever Champions League final. But under the pressure of the biggest stage, they fell short, losing 1-0 to Bayern Munich. It was a painful defeat, and worse still, it was the closest Neymar would ever get to delivering the trophy that PSG's owners craved above everything else. Before that historic run, PSG had consistently collapsed in Europe, knocked out in the last 16 and quarterfinals time and time again. And even after reuniting Neymar with Lionel Messi and pairing them with Kylian Mbappe in a superstar frontline, hoping to bring back the stories of MSN, this time with Mbappe instead of Suarez. The dream still remained out of reach. In 21-22 and 22-23, PSG crashed out the Champions League in the round of 16. Ultimately, this would be the end of his time in Paris, and after his time ended, Neymar took his talents to Saudi Arabia, signing with Al Hilal for a reported €90 million. This was supposed to be a fresh start, and a chance to dominate a new league and create a new legacy. But almost immediately, disaster struck. Neymar picked up a serious ACL injury just weeks into his Al Hilal career, followed by recurring hamstring issues that kept him sidelined for almost the entirety of the next season. In total, he managed just 7 appearances for the club, a staggering €12.8 million per match when you break down the numbers. It became clear to everyone that the project wasn't working. Eventually, both Neymar and Al Hilal agreed to part ways, ripping up his contract by mutual consent. From a €90 million superstar signing to a quiet exit without ever making an impact, it was another brutal chapter in Neymar's career. After leaving Saudi Arabia, Neymar returned to where it all began, rejoining Santos in Brazil, hoping to find peace, redemption, and maybe a final chance to remind the world of the player he once was. Neymar's story is one of the biggest what-ifs in modern football. At Barcelona, he was electric, a generational talent who looked destined to dominate the sport for the next decade. But chasing a legacy of his own came at a cost. Injuries, inconsistency, and the weight of massive expectations turned two of the most expensive moves in football history into possibly the worst 2 signings of all time. And look, while he was highly successful at PSG, it does have to be taken into account that he could never give PSG the one trophy that they signed him for, and that has to be regarded as a failure. Internationally, Neymar is widely acclaimed. While he never won the big one or even a Copa America, he did break Pele's Brazil goal scoring record. In his first World Cup on home soil, Neymar, at just 22 years old, carried the national team to the quarterfinals against Colombia, where he would ultimately sustain a back injury, keeping him out of the rest of the competition. In the very next game, without their star man, Brazil were embarrassed by a 7-1 loss to eventual winners Germany. In 2016, Neymar joined the Olympic team, bringing home the gold medal. Then in 2018, a 2-1 loss ended the nation's hopes in the quarterfinals. Then fast forward to 2022, Neymar was perhaps in the best form of his career. He had 14 goals and 11 assists in just 20 games before the tournament in Qatar. He started the first game, but an injury to his ankle ligaments ruled him out in the next 2 group matches. He returned for the round of 16, scoring and assisting against South Korea, and in the next round, he scored Brazil's only goal in a 1-1 draw after extra time against Croatia. However, his side were knocked out on pens before he could even take one. Make no mistake, Neymar still left his mark on the game, in both Spain and France. But when you look at the promises made, the money spent, and the dreams that were sold, it's hard not to feel like it could have been so much more. Neymar, without a doubt, is one of the best players of the last 20 years. But the broken promises, the inability to deliver what was asked of him on 2 occasions, whether it was injury or other circumstances, has to be looked at in this situation. Now, back at Santos, Neymar has a shot to write one final chapter. Not as the €222 million superstar, not as the €90 million marquee signing, but simply as Neymar, the player who at his best made football feel magical. Let us know in the comments, is Neymar's move to PSG and his move to Al Hilal 2 of the worst signings in football history? For the fees involved, the promises that were made, and what was expected, we think that it has to be up there. If you like this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, like for more videos, and maybe put the notification bell on for more. We'll see you in the next one.